Good. And now, already, I just have to write, is indeed CM Storm Polt. Man, that is amazing. Properties, color white. The player is KT Zest. And I will also update the color here, white. I think we're good to go. Alright. Let's take a full screen look if that looks properly. CM Storm Polt, KT Zest, Protoss, Terran. I think I fixed it. In 46 seconds, I'm getting better at it. I of course got a little bit lucky that Polt was already on the right. Anyways, here we go. This is my second series of the day, even though I've been online for 3.5 hours. But hey, you can't have it all at once. I had a phenomenal time so far watching the games and chatting with you guys, but now it is time. The loser of this series will be done, will be eliminated of the Intel Extreme Masters, while the winner of this best of 3 will move on to play against Bunny, the Liquid Terran that is currently waiting. Over here on the right top side of merry-go-round, it is Polt. Polt is going up against the Blue Protoss, who just lost, well, just 35 minutes ago, but still, just comes off a pretty ridiculous loss against Liquid Asia. It is KT who rolls this Zest. Of course, the GSL Codex champion, and Zest is a beast. There are not many things in life that Zest is not very good at. I would even say in that last series against Asia, he played pretty good. He played on merry-go-round as well, and that is actually a game I was able to watch. He went for a Colossus Stalker push, which looked very promising, in all honesty. For the longest amount of time, I kind of believed that it was going to work, but then he lost his final Colossus, and then Tasia wouldn't be Tasia if he didn't have a bunker on the right and a bunker on the left. This is very frustrating for Polt. Polt is going command center first, but this probe sees it immediately, so this probe can start harassing this SCV. And now Polt will be forced to pull an SCV to the low ground. Careful, whoa. Whoa, did you see that? That SCV had ignite afterburners, it went so fast. And Polt still has to send one more SCV, because this SCV is going to go and run low on HP as well. You have to send 2 Polt. This is really frustrating. This command center is already a little bit delayed. There are 2 SCVs very low on HP. I wonder if Zest is going to try to chrono boost out a Zealot or so, but no, he's not going to do that. Zest will just answer this very economic opening of Polt with an economic opening on his own. Look at this probe, he's out for blood. Ah, so close, but he doesn't get it. This probe is definitely the MVP of this game. He's done a very good job in slowing Polt down. See, he's currently supply block. Still waiting for this command center. Normally it would have been done already. The SCV production is temporarily on hold, but he was morphing it into an orbital command anyway, so doesn't change that much. But it's very nice for Zest that he scouted this immediately, and he was able to reply with a very quick Nexus on his own, because he's like, hey, you're going economic, I'm going economic. Polt has scouted this, and Polt will confirm that, alright, Nexus is on the way. I like the SimCity over here by Zest, makes it hard for Reapers to hop in. If the Reaper wants to go all the way behind the middle line, there is no way out. If there is no way out, well, most time your Reaper will die. Of course, we know that there's not a Reaper opening. This is a very quick Twilight console. I saw him do this against Tasia as well, but I'm not sure which map it was. I think it was... which was that? Wasn't it Foxtrot Labs where he opened up with Quick Blink Stalkers? But he also had a robotics facility with Immortals. So it might be... No, I guess it was just merry-go-round where he opened up with the Quick Blink Stalkers. Especially with these spawning locations, and with the way that this game has opened up so far, I personally would not be shocked to see Zest go with Blink Stalkers and maybe 2 Colossus and try to make a push. You can get a Pylon up over here on the low ground, and you're so close to the natural of the Terran player. And it's a build that is just very hard to deal with if you're Terran. You pretty much need to do everything right. You need to have your Viking production on the money, you need to have bunkers to buy time for your Vikings to pop out. Zest wants to be careful with this Stalker. Took a little bit too much damage, if you ask me, but as long as he doesn't lose it, he should be alright. He's up 6 workers. Polt is on 3 racks now. Of course, his add-ons are a little later, so it's unlikely that he's going to go for some sort of combat shield or stim poke. We saw Yoda be pretty successful. Ooh, 3 more gates being added. So Zest is just going to go ham on the Blink Stalkers. And Polt really needs bunkers to deal with this. Probably needs a bunker over here on the high ground as well. There is a probe already hovering around on the right side of this map, and this could get very complicated, especially if they fight. Rightburn Blink is ready, and the Marines are out in the open if they're very exposed. Polt is completely unaware. what is actually going on. He probably just expects a robotics facility, a very quick tech into Robo Bay. He wants to be careful, because if Polt ends up losing these 10 Marines, as these are 10 Marines, and he doesn't kill anything, or he maybe kills a single Stalker, it's almost game over. Okay, he is sending one Han Solo Marine to the right side of this map, which is... where is it rallied to? Okay, it's rallied towards the middle. I don't think he will reveal this pylon. No, right? Oh my god, and he somehow missed his second probe that's out on the right side of the map as well. Polt is still in the dark, but he's throwing up extra bunkers. He did just scan. I have no idea where he scanned. I guess he just saw the Stalker number and he's like, alright, that's a few more Stalkers than I expected. We immediately see this bunker go up on the high ground. That is really important, because you want to get a Marauder or two in each bunker. He has 2 bunkers in the natural, he has the bunker on the high ground. Currently we're looking at 43 SCVs against 40 Pro. Zest really needs to do a lot of work with this. He starts off picking one of these bunkers off, he gets a couple of SCVs, but so far things look surprisingly good for Polt. Stim is done within 20 seconds. The Mothership Core is joining the party now as well. Will provide high ground vision, but if he blinks up to high ground when Stim is ready and Polt stims forward, he's going to kill 5, 6, 7 Stalkers. There's a Marine as well, making sure that Zest is not going up to 3 bases. I think Polt is in a good position, even if he ends up losing 4, 5, 6 more SCVs. I still kind of like his position. My commercial is on? Do I have a commercial? My music is on. No. What kind of commercial are you guys talking about? Oh, in the main stream. Man, you stressed me out there, mate. I keep a close eye on chat just to make sure that the stream is running smoothly. And I just thought I was spamming commercials in the middle of the game, but I guess somebody meant my Lenovo Y50 laptop. Horrible acting. Worst actor of all time. Let's give this guy the opposite of a Grammy Award commercial on the main stream. Now I get it. You scared me. Alrighty, back to this game. Zest is transitioning. He's going up to 3 bases. He's getting his robotics facility and his Robo Bay, as the Robo facility just finished up. But this is still tricky, because I've been in this position in the past as a Protoss, because hey, I am a stubborn Protoss. I love opening up Blink Stalkers, let's be honest, we all did in the past. But if you, oh, miss Blinks, gonna end up losing a Stalker. Right now, the army of Polt, 47 army supply against 30 of Zest. Okay, 4 Zealots are being warped in, but these are Zealots that don't have charge. I don't see a world where Zest keeps this base alive. Okay, he does have force fields. Maybe with force fields, this is a really important moment in this game. If Zest keeps his Nexus alive, he's in a phenomenal position. But right now, the army of Polt is so much stronger than the army of Zest. Photon Overcharge is scary and intimidating. Polt is really respecting this. I think he should have fought here, guys. I really think he should. Okay, well, going to the main base, well, all of these gateway units are out of position is not a bad decision either. Zest is going to try to blink forward, but Zest is going to take a lot. Oh, these Marines are trapped, by the way. He needs to kill this pylon. Here comes the Mothership Core. The Photon Overcharge goes down in the main as well. But Polt can literally drive Zest insane. Mothership Core is going to fall. I'm not sure if these Blink Stalkers can fight this. You want to be careful, Zest. There's so much DPS in this Terran army. You're not capable of fighting this yet. I believe one Colossus is out on the map now. But let's not forget that all of these Protoss units are in the main base, so Polt can just pick up everything and then drop towards this 3rd base again. 1 medevac is not going to fall. 6 pickups there, or pick up by Polt actually. Man, I've been talking too much. My voice is cracking up already. That's a bad sign at the start of the day. Polt can keep doing this for a little while. Zest is gonna have to split up his forces. Okay, I like how he's doing this. Colossus, Zealot, Sentries in the low ground, and all Blink Stalkers in the main. Army supply 76 against 62. No more Photon Overcharge, no time warp either. This Nexus is very exposed. There is a Colossus, but there is no thermal range yet. Stalkers blink to the low ground, which means no micro potential either. There's a Widowmine in the mix. There's another Widowmine as well, but Polt is losing a lot of bio units. And it seems like Zest has successfully defended this base, which is really impressive. And I can guarantee you guys that it is a lot more complicated than it looked. He made it look easy, but I'm actually kind of blown away that he managed to do that. He did lose quite a few Stalkers. Polt is up 7 workers during all this. Does not have a second Stalker yet. Phenomenal army positioning there by Zest. It's really difficult to not just die there. Now Zest is going to move forward. He has a small army supply advantage. Has to be a little careful. Actually, has quite a few Zealots, because I want to say he doesn't have a whole lot of meat protecting his Colossus, but he's running around with 10, 11 Zealots. These medevacs got spotted by this pylon on the north side of the map. At the same time, Zest will blink forward. Starts chipping away these SCVs. Is he going to be able to pick up this orbital? He might. Do we have anything in the main base? We have 2 Stalkers and a few gateway units. That's not going to be enough. There's no Mothership Core either. Zest is going to take a lot of economic damage over here, and he knows it. He's going to evacuate all of his probes immediately, but at the same time he's moving forward, and he's just going to try to jump on top of the production of Polt. I kind of like Zest's position, I guess, right? I mean, he's going to lose everything in his... Wow, he has a Colossus now. He's going to be fine. He will not lose everything. Army supply is 81 against 71. Okay, this Colossus is exposed against these Marauders. So these Marauders will pick off the Colossus, but... Does Polt have... Oh, don't do that. Polt shouldn't fight at this ramp. Well, he does get 1 Colossus. The unit's coming in from the left side as well. Maybe this was a good decision after all by Polt. He has a high amount of medevacs. Both Colossus have died forward, linked by Zest on top of Marauders. I actually think Polt is going to be able to... I mean, Polt has lost so many SCPs. But his army in a straight up engagement now is stronger. He's not microing this hit spot in the main base. Now he starts paying attention to it again. What does Zest have? Does Zest still have his robotics facility? Yes, he does. Does he have a Colossus? No, he doesn't. It's 9 Zealots now with no charge, by the way. He lost the Twilight Council. He just has Blink. 1-1 against 0-0 as well. The Colossus is the game changer. Zest is going to be able to get his Colossus out soon. Polt did save this... man, he actually saved all of his orbitals. I have no idea how he somehow did that. Oh, so the income tab. 53 probes. Spread over 3 bases, still for Zest against 30 SCVs for Polt. Polt is moving forward. Zest is up 30 supply, but I think Polt should be able to kite this army pretty successfully. He has better upgrades, he has a lot of medevacs. I'm not sure about this forward blink. Zest is losing a lot of units over here, and he's not killing a whole lot of units just yet. He really needs his Colossus to join up with his army. With the Colossus, his army is way stronger again. 1-1 bio against 0-0 gateway units. It's really close. A couple of Zealots are going to town on these SCVs. Polt needs reinforcements. Here are the reinforcements. Like, if this Colossus wasn't here, this would be the easiest victory of all time for Polt. But this Colossus is here. He's really ruining this Protoss party a little bit. A couple of very random forces will go down. There are no more Zealots in the mix. The Marauders start focusing on this Colossus. Almost gets it, but good micro there by Zest. Gets so many... Oh my god, he saved the Colossus. That is disgusting. Now a few more Marauders screaming. Really non-stop action in a solo cat game. Really, guys, you want to do that to me? Alright, so 36 supply against 43 now, but the second Colossus joins in. This Colossus is somehow still alive. Don't ask me how that's possible. Viking just remembered the fact that he has wings, or he just drinks a Red Bull, I don't know. Either. Viking will get a shot of... Nope. Starkers blink forward, pick up that Viking. Very, very action-packed game here. Zest is even putting the boys, or the girls, or the gentlemen. I guess if the SCVs are the boys, then the probes are the gentlemen. So we have 3 Colossus, 10 Blink Stalkers against 10 Marauders, 2 Vikings. I don't think that Polt can defend this base. I think he should evacuate. I think he should back off. And it's going to get very hard. He doesn't have the Viking number. I think with this drop in the main that did so much damage, he really should have tried to pick up the robotics facility. Because that is truly what has kept Zest in this game and is putting him in a good position now. 72 army supply against 62, but there's 3 Colossus, and Colossus don't care too much about upgrades. The SCVs, but then just like 3 of them are being pulled. A couple of Vikings are in the mix. Marauders are just running past the Zealots, getting to top of the Colossus. Actually, all of these Colossus die, but that wasn't for free. Polt lost the majority of his bio units. Loses most of his medevacs as well, lost the SCVs again. Reinforcements are streaming in, but he can't do that. That wasn't a cost-effective trade at all, right? Good playing. It seems like Polt is going, just forgot about his medevacs, just lost 2 or 3 medevacs there. And now another Colossus showed up. Whoa, what an action-packed game, but it seems like Zest will be able to do it. He's still up 24 workers, he's still up mining of his 3 bases. If Polt would have been able to snipe this robotics facility, I truly think he wins this game. And I think there was a moment where he could have done it with his 3 Marauders. After he killed the Colossus over here, maybe he got his, even from the high ground, he's probably in range. But that did not happen, and now I'm afraid that Polt just doesn't have the units anymore. 74 against 61. How many SCVs? 32. He can pull 32 SCVs. I think if he pulls all 32 SCVs, he has a chance. But that is the only chance that he will have. He's gonna again set up a small little Terran sandwich from the south side. Stalkers are coming in. Zest does have a couple of Zealots in the mix, so those Zealots will be annoying enough to soak up a lot of these Marauder shots. The Viking count is almost non-existent. We're looking at 2 or 3 Vikings. Good forward playing by Zest. He is an actual god when it comes to sniping Vikings. The Terran sandwich is coming in though. Stark is blinking to the left side, but Zest has done such a phenomenal job in keeping his Colossus alive for as long as possible in all of these engagements. And that is what will allow Zest to win game number 1 on merry-go-round. But it was pretty much 15 minutes of non-stop action. Pretty crazy game, but Zest wins it in the end. Well, I'm like literally out of breath. I'm not casting solo very often. It's kind of easy, I think, when there's not a whole lot happening, because then you can just like start a story and you can just run with it. When there is non-stop fighting, it gets a little bit more difficult. I think that was a really good game on from both sides. I really just think it comes down to, if Polt snipes at the robotics facility, we're looking at a completely different game. Completely different. Because then, instead of just like rebuilding Colossus immediately like Zest did, this one Colossus on the left side, like Zest somehow kept it alive with like 7 HP, 5 Marauders stimmed in. If it's just stimmed bio against slow Zealots and Blink Stalkers, I truly believe that Polt, as good as he is, will micro his way out of that, even if he's down in army supply, even if he's down in economy. 1-1 stim bio against unupgraded gateway units, or unupgraded with Blink. Who cares in a straight up engagement about Blink? I think Polt does it, but Zest continuously building Colossus out of that one robotics facility. No Forge Protoss, just like CGNT's hero was a while ago. Allowed him to pick up game number 1. That was a really cool game, I enjoyed it. It was really action packed. Someone said, well, that's funny. Of course, the winner of this series will move on to the deciders match of Group A, which I have no idea if I broadcast that or if that's going to be on the mainstream. I assume it is going to be on the mainstream, but I have no confirmation of that yet. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. I'm not sure what's going on the mainstream now, if they're starting with Group B already or not. What I do know is that game number 2 between Zest and Polt is going to be played on Overgrowth. Protoss so imba. I don't think that Protoss is putting up the results right now that we can truly complain about Protoss, guys. I would love to say that they do. And a few months ago, you know, I was keeping myself on the low. I wasn't saying too much because I know Protoss was winning pretty much every single tournament. And I was enjoying it because I enjoyed casting all those beautiful Protoss games. But I knew it was a little unfair. But right now, I definitely don't think that Protoss has an edge over Terran. I think Terran is doing more than fine. So we are loaded in to game number 2. I am probably going to struggle a little bit with the scoreboard again, but I will try to get everything set up properly as soon as possible. Polt, alrighty, so let me just start with this. That is 1. This is 2. Getting there. Alrighty, and now we just need to update the score, so I have to delete this. This is hashtag top 3 NA production. I know, guys, I know. But once it's all said and done, now this goes to the bottom. This is really complicated. And 1 up. There we go. Does that look fine? 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's not my best. That's not a personal record, but I think everything is good. I can just go ahead and talk about build orders. It's truly the only way for me to make it work. Of course, I don't have a studio set up. I don't have a switcher. I don't have a graphic guy over here. And with the graphics package that I got from the Intel Extreme Masters, this is the only way that I can make it work. It is very MacGyver Roddy style. But hey, if you just joined 1 minute and 30 seconds into this game, I think everything looks perfect. Over here in the left bottom side of the map, we have our Red Terran. Just a couple of days after he won that fantastic tournament, Red Bull Battlegrounds in Detroit, right now he's on the verge of being eliminated in the group stage of the Intel Extreme Masters in Toronto, and that is just a testimony to how strong this tournament truly is. It is Polt. Still hot of his win in Detroit. Maybe he partied it up a little too hot. I did see Polt in the casino after he won Red Bull Battlegrounds Detroit, and he was winning in the casino too. All the other Koreans were losing a little bit, and Polt was the only one who was all smiles. Not only did he win Detroit, he won against the casino too. That was truly a once in a lifetime day, I think. Over here on the right top side of the map, we have the fantastic Protoss player that's representing KT Rolster. It is Zest. Zest, of course, lost his first series of the day against Tasia. Polt lost his first series of the day against Bunny. Tasia has defeated Bunny, so the winner of this series will move on to play the deciders match against Bunny. Could be a rematch for Polt, but he's going to have to win 2 games in a row. I do think there was a serious opportunity for Polt to win that last game. I also think that Merry-Go-Round is a better Terran map than Overgrowth is, so we will see. It's a Reaper opening this time, so no command center first. Polt got a little bit unfortunate as well last game with that command center first opening that got scouted immediately. Nobody wants to worry about a probe working on your SCVs when you're just trying to go CC first on the low ground. This opening will allow Polt to put on some more initial pressure as well. He's doing it very different than a lot of the other Terrans do though, because he's already getting his reactor, which means that the tech lab, if he goes for a tech lab, is going to be late. He would still produce 3 Marines and a Marauder at the time, and then open up with concussive shells, just like, who was the Terran that did that yesterday? Who was the Terran that maybe it was Yoda? No, it wasn't Yoda. Yoda always does combat shield. Man, I casted some Terran games yesterday. Completely forgot who it was. Open bracket, may have been Bunny. I don't know. Tech lab is being added, this Reaper is still hopping around. Zest is going 1 gate into robotics facility. Now of course from this point on it matters what Zest does. Is he going to go very quick up to a Robo Bay? It could be Sentry Immortal as well, like he tried to do against Tasia. I think this Reaper shouldn't have been able to identify that this is indeed a 1 gate Robo opening. Anything else would be shocking. For us it's very easy to see that. As Polt, you're still worried about a potential Stargate, you know. There are a lot of things that Terran has to worry about, even when, you know, we don't have Fog of War, and for us it's very easy to say, like, okay, he doesn't have to worry about anything, he just macro up. If you're actually playing the game, there are so many thoughts racing through your mind. Could still be Blink Stalkers, could still be Proxy Oracle, could still be normal Oracle, you know, whatever, you don't know. So just seeing the robotics facility, even if it's as standard as it gets, is really, really nice. Because then obviously you don't have to, you don't have to worry about this anymore. So Zest went 1 gate, robotics facility, 2nd gateway, but it was late, into Robo Bay. He didn't really check a whole lot yet. This observer is the first time that Zest has vision on this map. He is going to see these bio units moving in. What Polt will probably do is poke forward, try to force out a Photon Overcharge. Zest immediately starts his Immortal as well. But if Zest uses his Photon Overcharge before Stim is ready, then Polt will just wait it out, and then once Stim is ready, or is he just going to move in? He's actually just moving into the mineral line. He gets the sentry there as well, gets a couple of probes. This is already effective for Polt. That is an excellent trade. He lost a few Marines over there. He got a sentry, got a few probes, and above all, he forced out Photon Overcharge as well. I have to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed to see that this Marauder is shooting at this Zealot all the time. If the Marauder would have been shooting at this Stalker, it would have been a lot easier for the bio units to clean this up. Anyways, the next push is going to be a difficult one. Zest does have his robotics bay up, but he doesn't have a Colossus yet. One very brave Immortal is wandering around in the middle of the map. You want to go back home, sir? Because you're not very good by yourself. Where are you going? Stop. Go back. The next poke is going to be hard to deal with though for Zest. He's working off only 2 gateways. He does have Photon Overcharge. He might be alright. I don't know. It comes down to the focus fire of Polt. The worker count is currently 44 against 41. So if Polt does some work over here, that would be phenomenal for him. If he stims in, which I think he will, Photon Overcharge will go down immediately. Just a couple of probes would already be nice. Maybe the Mothership Core. Yes, he gets the Mothership Core. But he also sees the Immortal and he doesn't want to laugh in the face of danger today. Polt is actually getting a defensive bunker, which I'm a little bit surprised by. I wonder what triggered this bunker, what he has seen that worried him so much. He saw the Robo Bay. Maybe he's worried about a very quick Colossus push, but he has done enough stuff to slow this down that I don't think he has to worry about it that much. He's getting a missile turret as well. Didn't see the Twilight concept yet. I mean, missile turrets are annoying for Colossus because if you don't have thermal lens, then the missile turret will actually just shoot on your Colossus, and we all know that missile turrets have ridiculously high DPS. So you definitely need thermal lens to deal with stuff like that. But Other than that, DT's, I don't know, maybe he just looked at the army of Zest and he's like, man, you don't really have a whole lot of units. Are you going up to Dark Templars or something like that? I'm a little bit confused, but we'll figure it out. Eventually everything makes sense. 51 SCVs for Polt, who's going up to 3 bases. He did it after getting Rex number 4 and 5, but I don't mind it because he did do some economic damage early on, and Zest has already shown us in this tournament that he loves his 2-base pushes. So it makes sense to get a few extra units out. Polt sees his army, a good force field by Zest, a couple of bio units will die immediately, and Polt doesn't really get anything for it. So that was kind of bad. Army supply 47 against 44 now. So I think that Zest is going to sort of pull a Siegent's hero here. He's pretty committed to his 2-base Colossus attack, but he will transition out of it. Like, his probe count is high enough for Zest to go up to 3 bases. But he's still going to try to make something happen. He has 3 Colossus, he has Blink Stalkers. So he could start wailing away at this bunker that was here once upon a time, but actually isn't here anymore. Polt, you want to be careful, you don't want to lose more bio units. What is super important, guys, is that Polt is getting his 2nd starport. This will allow him to pump out 3 or maybe even 4 Vikings if this reactor lands on it as well. Or if this starport lands in the reactor. Would be cool if reactors could fly, but they can't. So with 4 Vikings at a time, he should be more than capable of dealing with a push of Zest. If Zest decides to push, but it seems like Zest doesn't want to. He's just going to sing this one out, slow and steady, wins the race. Only has +1 armor, starts +2. This is actually the type of game where I would love to see Polt pull the boys. And of course, when we talk about the boys, we talk about the SCVs. The boys are back in town. Even though the Templar Archives is quick, and I love this by Zest as well. How many Colossus is he at? Is it 3? Okay. I think this is a very good number. I think you can even do it after 2 already. But I think if you go up to 5 Colossus, you will pretty much always die against the 3-base SCV pool of a Terran with 1 or 2 Ghosts. But with this build of Zest, you're actually going to get access to High Templars and Storm pretty quickly, which should keep you safe against SCV pools the majority of the time. Polt is not a Ghost player. I do think he's going to make a Ghost Academy, don't get me wrong, so don't quote me on the fact that, oh my god, one of them said that Polt is not a Ghost player, he's making Ghost. I do think he will make Ghost, but I don't think it's something that he excels at. I think Polt excels at just running around, flying around with medevacs, trying to drop everywhere, snipe Nexa. Like we all know that, you know, Polt sees one big target. This Nexus has a crosshair on it. This one has a crosshair on it. And Polt likes to kill them. Eventually he does get Ghost, but I do not feel that it's Polt's bread and butter. Polt much rather just tries to out-multitask his opponent with way more units. And of course, Ghosts, as good as they are, do kind of slow the Terran player down. Then as soon as you get Ghosts and Vikings in general, you keep your army together. Polt likes to make stuff happen. The Observer spread is pretty good so far from Zest. He catches a glimpse of the majority of these medevacs on the right bottom side, which he actually doesn't have a whole lot. Oh, these are cannons. Zest? He saw the medevacs, but he's not reacting to it yet. I'm really surprised. Zest is actually not reacting to those medevacs that he perhaps caught a glimpse of, but he didn't pay attention to his minimap. Of course, there are still so many units on the left side of the map as well, but he kind of has to split up his army, because if he doesn't do it, he will take so much damage in his main base. Like, if I was Polt, I would not even attack over here until the Zest actually commits and sends a lot of units to the main base. This is a phenomenal draw by Polt. Now Zest is like wondering, how should I split up my army? The Viking count is high, first Colossus goes down immediately, Storm will land, but not before 2 out of 3 Colossus are gone. And even the final Colossus is done. If I was Polt, just run back with this and just fight, pay attention to this drop. But even these Zealots is probably not enough. The High Templars will, oh, Storm! Oh, feedback could be phenomenal. If he feedbacks these medevacts, he can kill them. There's so much energy on them. Oh, feedback's the wrong one. Still a pretty good exchange there, I think, for Polt. Alright. Polt is currently still sitting on 65 SCVs against the 58 probes of Zest. He reset the Colossus count completely. Units, where are we? Not a single Colossus is left on the map anymore for Zest. He has 7 High Templars now. The Ghost Academy is done. I'm not sure where it is, but I know that he has one. Where is it? Ghost Academy. Alright, it's in the natural. So Polt can start producing Ghost if he wants to, but like I said before, Polt is just much more of a bio player. Second robotics facility being wiped into Zest as well. That's a smart play against the style that Polt is playing. I'm not sure how Polt is going to try his luck this time. It's going to be hard to run into a High Templar player that has like 6, 7, 8 storms available. Photon Overcharge being casted as well. Polt is looking for openings. He's just lurking around the main base of Zest. He wants to see where is the best choice. I must say I was really surprised to see that Zest did not lose or did not leave any High Templars at all behind. Because if you leave 1 or 2 High Templars in your main base with a cannon and then 2 Zealots, it's so much harder to drop already. And even if it's a massive drop, like Polt just showed us, but Polt is going up to 4 bases already, then you can just drop a storm on all these Marines that are being dropped, and that's still pretty damn effective as well. Anyways, Polt is maxed out. The ghost count is 3. 3 is normally a number where you want to pull SCVs, but since he already has 4 bases, I don't think he really wants to do it. Polt does enjoy a very nice upgrade advantage. It's 2-2 against just O2 armor for our Protoss. Zest actually not starting any additional upgrades yet. There are High Templars left, there are multiple storms and feedbacks. Again, 4 Manavacs followed by towards the main base of Zest. Storms or feedback? Actually I felt like he had 1 more storm there. This is not good enough for Zest. Zest needs way more units in his main base to deal with this massive drop of Polt. He might end up losing his forges over here as well, so no additional upgrades, no Dark Shrine either. All the Zealots will start running in, but if Polt can tuck away these units behind the mineral line, feedback storm, nope. No? Okay. Still 2 feedbacks. In the end, still 14 probes for Polt. Successful enough, I'd say. I think you can be very satisfied with killing 14 probes, cancelling the forges again. Upgrades, guys. Only +2 armor for our Protoss. And I say only because Terran has 3-3 on the way and even +2 on the Vikings as well. But we all know, we've seen so many times in the past, Protoss, you know, the power and beauty of Protoss is that upgrades, as nice as they are, they're not mandatory. I do recommend getting them eventually, but you can win fights without upgrades because Colossus, they will deal a lot of damage against bio units regardless. It doesn't really matter what the upgrades are. High Templar, Storm hurts. Storm really hurts, especially if the Templar player just charges up a ramp. There are so many storms available, Polt, you want to be really careful. A blink could actually kill all these Vikings. All the Vikings have died. I don't think this is a good fight for Polt at all. He gets the Nexus, but at what cost is the question that I'm asking myself right now. Well, the cast of the majority of his bio army, and he's not even done with losing units yet. Zest could blink forward if he wants to. He doesn't want to yet. There's a planetary fortress for Polt, that is the good news for him. It's really hard for Zest to counterattack, and just a single Colossus make things a little bit more complicated as well. He does have double robo, so if he truly wants, he can fire up 2 Colossus at a time. Now Zest can blink forward after a couple of bio units got picked up. Gets 3 Manavacs for his effort. Should get at least 1 of these orbitals as well. I don't think that Nexus Snipe was worth it, Polt. He ate so many storms, he lost his ghost, he lost most of his Manavacs, he fought right before 3-3 upgrades were ready. And now he has to worry about this ridiculous Protoss army that's coming in. 1 EMP, Polt, 1 EMP, and all these High Templars, they're all kind of clumped up. This defensive planetary fortress is helping out a lot. Is there an observer in the mix? Okay, we're actually 5 observers. We have Pig Baby. Well, okay, there are 3 observers above the army, so yes. A lot of Dark Templars being wiped in as the Dark Shrine did eventually finish up. Polt will be able to pick all of those Dark Templars off and snipe this base again. So Polt still has this one. What a bizarre series. It's pretty much non-stop action between these 2 players. The upgrades right now, it's 3-3 bio against +2 armor for the Protoss player. And he doesn't have the same amount of storms anymore as he had before. Take a look at these simulators now. There's plenty of gas left. So he will still be able to... I'm surprised that Zest doesn't start a bunch of Colossus. He starts 1 now. I guess he's just low on gas because he hasn't secured that 7 and 8 assimilator. He's been whopping in a lot of High Templars. And I know the power of Protoss seems that you can do everything at once, but if you warp in like 10 High Templars, you do kind of need a 4th base eventually. If you want to continue double upgrades, if you want to support double robotics facility as well. Polt can still win this game. A couple of good EMPs is all he needs. This would be a beautiful moment for CM Storm's Polt to fight. If he lands 1 EMP on a couple of these Archons and 1 EMP connects with 4 of these High Templars. Right now these 4 High Templars are all the High Templars that currently are on the map. So I actually kind of like Polt's position. All that he needs is 1 good EMP, and even if he eats 1 storm, I still think he can do it. I think if small Marauder hit squad on the left side of this map swing in to kill this Nexus would be beautiful as well, but that is one of those caster calls that you can make when you have full vision. And the game is suddenly a lot easier than when you're actually playing it. Kappa. And the longer Polt waits, the more that Zest will catch up in upgrades. 3-3 against 1-3 is still good. I love how Polt is using the 3 medevacs with very low energy. That's very smart. If you guys wonder why would you do this, it's because most of the time Protoss players, when they have High Templars, they will keep High Templars at home. So if a feedback lands and it deals a lot of damage to a medevac immediately, it's easier to deal with the drop than when these medevacs are low in HP. Now a single feedback is not going to shut this down, and he needs to drop storms. Maybe Polt can get out of it, but he will never lose his medevac, so that's actually a beautiful play. I almost feel like he EMP'd his own medevacs because they were so low in energy. Did one of you guys EMP? We will never know. But it's a smart play, extremely smart play by Polt. It's much better than flying in with a medevac that has 150 energy, because it's so easy to deal with that as a Protoss. This is actually, ironically enough, it's harder to deal with an empty medevac energy drop than with a full one. Zest is starting to get this gold base up and running though, which means ridiculous amount of zealots incoming in the near future, and above all, as soon as he secures the 7 and 8 assimilator, more High Templars, more Colossus as well. The Viking count is currently at 10 against 2 Colossus. That should be enough. And there are 10 goals against 4 High Templars. This should be a good moment for Polt to fight. Like, he has better upgrades. I like his unit composition. If he doesn't eat the biggest storms in history, I think that CM Storm Polt might be able to even up the series here. He's gonna go for it. He runs forward. EMPs have landed all over this army. The Immortals have no shields anymore. The Colossus will fall. The High Templars get sniped as well. And Polt is going to absolutely steamroll this army of Zest. What a phenomenal fight there by Polt. At the same time, he was winning the fight in the natural as well. And just like that, Polt evens up this series. That was a sick game by Polt. That was really, really well done. A couple of phenomenal drops. I loved it. Great game. Really, really great game. And you know, Polt often gets criticized for it, like, oh, he's just beating up on North Americans. But if you put him against someone like Zest or some, you know, top Korean, then Polt has no chance. Last week he wins Red Bull Battlegrounds in Detroit. Now he takes a game of Zest. And he took a convincing game of Zest as well. This was not a cheesy, lucky victory or something. Just very well done. Excellent drops. Great series. I'm going to throw it to a very small break, and after that I'll be back with game 3, just because I want to drink some water and stuff. So stay tuned. Game number 3 between Zest and Polt is coming up. Alrighty guys, welcome back. The players are ready, I'm ready, I had some water, so now it's actually, life is a lot easier. Game number 3 is going to be played on Foxtrot Labs. You guys know the drill. As soon as we hop into the game, I'm going to need like a minute to adjust my scoreboard, MacGyver style. But as soon as that's done, we are good to go. Man, what a phenomenal game 2 by Polt. Really excellent job sniping the forges early on, later on sniping them again, sniping the Dark Shrine, just doing so many things right. We are loaded into the game, so here we go. I'm going to delete this, update my scoreboard, and then we are all set. The score is currently 1-1. And that is on, and this one goes to the bottom, or there. And it goes up. MacGyver. Alrighty. Man, that's all. 40 seconds. Not too bad, right? Everything looks good. Everything is good. So we are on the way for game number 3 of the Intel Extreme Masters Day 2 pool play action. This is Group A. There is a long day of StarCraft ahead of us. Cooler Master Storm's Polt is your reigning Red Bull Battlegrounds Detroit champion. Just last week, Polt won a tournament. The first tournament he won in a while, we have to add. He got a lot of second places, of course, earlier this year at the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne as well. Polt picked up a second place. That was a long time ago. Over here we have on the right bottom side of the map, we have KT Rolls as Zest. As far as I know, this is the first time ever we see Zest at an Intel Extreme Masters. Because I'm pretty sure if he was at one before, he would have won. No, wait, I think I did see him at one. Wasn't he in the one in China or Singapore? I have to double check my facts. Because actually I'm not sure about that. What I do know is that Zest is a GSL Codex champion, and that, well, not too long ago, I think a lot of people unanimously agreed upon the fact that Zest was the best player in the world. Right now, that's up for debate. He didn't win last season of GSL Codex. He's still been putting up really good results. Still had a good run in Pro League. Of course, his team won. He did lose his match against Rain, if I recall correctly. But hey, Rain is an actual god, so it's completely okay to lose your match against Rain. Anyways, he's great, and he's definitely not looking for an early exit here. The same can be said for Polt. Polt would love to prove himself. Of course, you know, a lot of Koreans in a way kind of look down upon Polt, because Polt is the Korean that moved to North America, that's trying to beat up on foreigners, and that's not competing at the absolute highest level. Zest is one of those guys that is competing at the highest level there is. Pro League, GSL Codex, you name it, he's there. So if Polt would be able to win this series, that would be phenomenal for him. That would probably be as happy as Polt gets. I wonder what's necessary to get a happy Polt. I think Zest will pretty much get the job done. And just open chat real quick, make sure, okay. I was like, let me just open chat real quick to make sure that everything is going fine in the stream, and then I see nothing but Doge. I see a green Doge, a black Doge, a pink Doge. Alrighty, so I guess everything is good. As long as there are not 24 messages about, I don't know, overlays being wrong whatsoever. I'm surprised there's not a single mod in the channel. I'm not even sure if I have modding rights, but I already have a hard enough time updating the scoreboard, so I'm not sure if I should be modding chat. We'll figure it out. I'll try to address it after this game. Because most of you guys in chat have actually been awesome today. A lot of good discussions going on about this Intel Extreme Masters tournament. It has been very fun so far. We're still very early in this tournament. We have so many great games ahead of us. But we've had so much to talk about already. Phenomenal series that Bunny played earlier today against Polt. Then that 6 series between Snoot and Hero. And now we have Zest and Polt going at it against each other. Polt winning game 2 is a story on its own. Polt's opening up with the 3 racks once again. Very similar to what I did on Overgrowth. Don't fix it unless it's broken, right? And that is what's going on over here. Reaper is hopping into the main base for Polt. Does he see the Twilight? Yes, he did see it. I'm not sure if he clicked on it. I'm sure, because he's Polt. So it's a 3 racks opening. He starts producing Marauders immediately out of the one with the Tech Lab. It should be Stim before Combat Shield or Concussive. And there we do see that he starts off with Stim. This is very similar to how Zest opened up on Merry-Go-Round. Of course, he did win that game, but it was kind of a wonky victory. I was more impressed with the way that Polt won the game on Overgrowth than Zest won on Merry-Go-Round. And it's not because I'm a Polt fanboy, because everybody knows I'm Protoss fanboy. I just think that Polt's victory was a little more solid and with a little bit more beauty to it. And was above all a game that you could sort of reproduce. You know, you could try to do something similar again, and the game somehow plays out in the same way. It should work out. While that game on Merry-Go-Round between Zest and Polt was truly unique. It was crazy. It came down to a single Colossus surviving with 10 HP, killing 5 Marauders or Marines or not, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how I feel about this open. Actually, it's a little different, because this game Zest is getting a much quicker robo. So this looks kind of like a defensive Blinkstalker opening, and I kind of like my defensive Blinkstalker opening. It makes your life a little easier dealing with drops. With Photon Overcharge, you should be fine against these Biopokes. and you actually have a lot of micro potential in your army, so you should be able to out micro those Marines and Marauders early on and try to be as annoying as possible. So don't get fooled. This is very different than what we saw in Merry-Go-Round actually. Man, he's getting such a quick War Prism. I feel that this is something that CJ Enter's hero has done very often. He just opens up with Blink, then eventually he drops the robo base, still goes up to Colossus, and then already starts dropping Zealots very early on. That's 4 Stalkers go on low range. Actually 5 Stalkers. 5 Stalkers is a magic number to one-shot Marines. See, he's moving forward with 8 Stalkers. That's a little more than I expected. I'm not exactly sure why you want to go up to 8 Stalkers, but we'll see. I think 8 Stalkers is enough of a commitment to seriously slow your Colossus down, and eventually you need something else than just Blink Stalkers to fight this straight up spin bioport. I love what Polt was doing over there, sending the Marines back, keeping the Marauders at the front, getting a couple of extra shots up on this Stalker. Here is that War Prism. War Prisms can be annoying, can really slow Polt down in that phase of the game where Polt really wants to move out. But we're not there just yet. Zest is just trying to control Polt now, sort of put him on a soft contain, just try to be annoying, poke in here and there, try to pick off an SCV or 2 if you can. At the same time, this War Prism is going to fly in. This is going to be frustrating for Polt, taking a look at the main base. There are no units over here at all. CG Enter's hero does this very often. Like I said, he's already going up to Colossus and Turbulence, but this War Prism will buy a lot of time for you. This is actually a really cool way of playing Proto. I think this is how I would play right now, but then with worse execution. I would exactly lose that War Prism. That is a good snipe there by Polt. That's going to make his life a little easier, because as cool of a play this is by Zest, you need to keep that Prism alive so you can force the Terran to keep some units at home. Now he just lost everything. He's going up to 3 bases during all this. That is so eager. 45 army supply against 31. Of course, there is that one Colossus that is a game changer, but okay. The good old Foxtrot derp. I can look at this for days. So silly. Stalker's blinking back in the middle of the map. 5 more gateways are going down. Like, I'm really worried for Zest. I said this before on Merry-Go-Round, back then he did it, but I have no idea how he's supposed to keep this Nexus alive. He made enough Blink Stalkers to make it a serious commitment to slow everything else down. He does not have a forge yet. He lost the War Prism, so Polt doesn't have to worry about that. Doesn't need to keep any units in his main base, as you guys can see. He brought pretty much every single buy unit that he has out on the map. He throws down a scan. He sees the army, but he doesn't know about his base. Okay, now he sees it. He's still forward. If he gets close enough to the Colossus, he could potentially kill it. A couple of the Marauders did die immediately already, but there's a lot of DPS in this army of Polt. Will Polt be able to... No. Okay, he's going to pick up these bio units. Man, I have no idea. Some of these decisions, they're so clutch. He's going to drop these bio units. He could drop them on top of the Colossus, but he doesn't want to do that yet. So that was a good hold by Zest. That really could have gone wrong. He finds a couple of Stalkers. I'm not sure if Blink is on cooldown or not. Yes, it is. He just blinked forward. What a big Colossus. These Colossus are so exposed. Man, like Zest has pylons everywhere. That's very well done. It makes it A lot easier to see drops incoming, and B will allow you to warp in reinforcements so much better, and also allow you to intercept a couple of retreating units. I'm glad that the Doge party is still going on. Guys, can you stop with the Doge, please? Otherwise, I really don't want to ban anybody. But I think I might have to. Polt is putting himself in a very awkward position over here. It blinks. Oh, picks up all these units. Such a clutch pickup by Polt. Polt is so fast when it comes to picking up bio units left and right. But Zest is aiming to be aggressive now. His first pylon, his closest pylon is over here. So it's not super close to the battle, but I guess you could say it's close enough. He starts working on his orbital. If Zest could snipe this orbital, that would be amazing. It's just still a single starport for Polt. As you guys can see over here as well, single starport. It makes things difficult. There's 8 gateways out now for Zest. And with these 3 Colossus, I'm a little bit worried for Polt. He does have a couple of Vikings in a really good position. He has a lot of Marauders as well. The force fields are phenomenal by Zest. He zones out all of these bio units, picks up these Vikings, and Zest, despite this opening looking like, it looked like it was really susceptible to a lot of aggression, he did it. He didn't take any damage at all. He smacked that push down. He also didn't take damage in his main base. Had fantastic pylon spread, solid drops, and Polt is going to try to get close to these Colossus for a final time, but I am afraid that it's too late. Polt has lost a few too many bio units. You will get all the Colossus, but there are still so many Stalkers left. There are Sentries left. There are Zealots left, and Polt has lost 39 SCVs in the process. I think that this is going to be it. Zest will win this series against Polt, and unfortunately